на на класному уроці англійської мови з нашими друзями з компанії LexisNexis. І сьогодні у нас дуже цікава тема. Пам'ятайте, що будьте активними, ставте запитання, не бійтеся ставити запитання, якщо вам щось не зрозуміло, або якщо ви хочете щось з'ясувати. І сподіваємося, що вам дійсно сподобається сьогоднішній урок. Chris, I think you will be the first one. You're welcome.
Hi, hello everyone. So, Americans and Ukrainians, it's very good to see you and hear you. Marina, let's go ahead and open up our presentation, please.
Do you see it?
I
Yeah.
see it. Perfect. Thank you. So, here we are again, American English practice. It's actually American English practice and cultural knowledge too. So today we're going to talk a little bit about a couple different genres of American music. We're also going to talk a bit about a Ukrainian music experience that my colleague and friend Ed had recently. Then we will wrap it up by talking a little bit about some of my favorite movies, American movies. Um, so I think we're ready to go to the next page, please. Uh, we always start by introducing our doing greetings and introducing ourselves in English. So I think us Americans will start today. Robin, why don't you go ahead and greet and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Robin. I am a designer here at LexisNexis. I think I've been volunteering on the background with the Ukrainian initiative for I think 2 years now. It's been a while, and I've been missing out presenting to everyone, so I'm excited to be here. I'll be talking about some rap and some country artists today, so I'm excited to really get to know you guys.
Excellent. Ed, you're next.
Hello, my name is Ed. I've been with the company with LexisNexis for about 24 years now. I've been involved with some Ukraine probably off and on the last 2 years, but only recently that I joined these sessions, and these were some amazing sessions I've ever been involved with. So,
Sasha, did you want to translate any of that, or should we just keep going?
I think we can keep going. When we start the topic, then I will start translating.
Very good. You all know me. You've seen me before. Hello, my name is Bond, James Bond. Please refer to me as James Bond. Um, and actually, it's Chris. James Bond is my middle name. It's my alias. Um, and like I said, y'all know me. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. So that covers all the Americans. So let's have our Ukrainian friends introduce themselves, please, in English.
Друзі, не соромтеся. Представляйтеся.
Hello, my name is Myron. My hobby is play the guitar and singing.
Excellent. Excellent. So this is a good session for you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Thanks.
okay. Who's next?
My name is Sasha.
Hi there. Anyone
Hi.
else?
Okay, my name is Sasha too. And I'm a very, very bad singer and any kind of instrument player. That's why this topic is interesting for me, but thanks God, I'm not singing or playing today.
But you do like music, so that's what counts.
Yeah. Друзі, ще хтось хоче представитися сьогодні?
Uh, I refer to myself as Beelzebub, and I love music actually, but I can't do music, unfortunately.
Anyone else? I think Marina should introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Marina. I like songs, and I like piano, and I can play piano.
Excellent. Anyone else?
Друзі, ще хтось хоче представитися? I think that's all. That's all for the start.
Okay, that's fine. Now, if anyone has any questions or something that they want to mention to us as we go along, feel free to speak up and do so.
Друзі, ви зрозуміли, сподіваюся, якщо у вас є якісь запитання по темі уроку, не за темою уроку, ви можете ставити їх будь-коли, або, звичайно, в рамках нашої презентації.
Okay, perfect. Ed's going to talk about a recent experience he had with Ukrainian music. So Ed, it's all yours.
Hi, everyone. So I live in Lafayette, Louisiana, the southern part of the United States. There's an international music festival called Festival International de Louisiana that takes place late April, early May every year. It's been going on for about the last 40 years. It used to be called Festival International du Monde Francophone. It was limited to countries that had significant French-speaking population, but I guess about 20 years or so ago, they opened it up to any country. And they build themselves as the largest international music festival in the US, which I don't know if that's true, but it's a big festival, it's a big 5-day festival.
1 second, please, Ed.
Yeah,
Thank you
sorry.
so much. Друзі, зараз нам Ед буде розповідати про музикальний фестиваль, який проходить в Луїзіані, а саме там Ед проживає. І насправді він проходить в квітні-травні кожного року. І спочатку цей фестиваль організовували як найбільший міжнародний фестиваль інтернаціональної музики, але згодом все ж таки, він не став найбільшим, але все ж таки це дуже-дуже велика подія, яка відбувається щороку в Луїзіані. Yes, Ed, please.
Go to the next slide. We get groups from all over. These are some pictures I took from the festival website, but we get groups everywhere. Anywhere in the Americas, Europe, Africa, all over Asia. That's really an interesting mix. In the last, I would say, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, maybe more, we've always had at least one group from Ukraine. That was true this year. You can go to the next slide, or translate and go to the next slide.
Yeah, 1 second. Друзі, як ви бачите по фотографіям, це настільки дійсно міжнародний фестиваль, тобто тут є представники всіх країн, всіх націй, і останнього року так само були представники України. Ці фотографії Ед взяв з офіційного сайту фестивалю, але він сам там буває, тобто він відвідує цей фестиваль щороку. Yes, please.
Next slide. So the group this year from Ukraine is a group, and I apologize, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but I think it's Yagodi.
You're totally right. Ягоди.
They were fantastic, and these are pictures that I took. It was a all-female singing group. They sang sort of updated folk songs, some from Ukraine, some from other parts of Eastern Europe. Very high energy. They danced around the stage. And you see that they have a modern bass player there. There's a modern, I can see the drum kit in the back, modern drum kit. And the very good, excellent response from the crowd. I guess you can go to the next slide.
1 second. Друзі, як ви бачите, це на цьому слайді зображена українська група, яка називається «Ягоди». Мабуть, ви про неї не знаєте, тому що, якщо чесно, я про неї дізналася лише завдяки Еду і Крісу. Але вони дійсно співають дуже класно, дуже круто, і, як зазначив Ед, вони ще й танцюють, і йому надзвичайно сподобався той виступ, який був саме нашого гурту на цьому фестивалі. Next slide, please.
This is just some more pictures of the singers on stage, and this is the best picture I could get of them dancing on stage. The crowd, the response was actually from the crowd, and there were Ukrainian flags flying. I didn't get a good picture of that, unfortunately. But really, they were great. And Ukrainian groups, particularly the last few years, have gotten a lot of very positive response from the festival goers. And I was just, when I realized, well, wait, we do these sessions. I should take some really good pictures, and I tried.
Oh,
But anyway, they were fantastic.
Еду дуже сподобався виступ цієї нашої музичної групи «Ягоди». Він сказав, що було дуже багато українських прапорів, і насправді те, що він бачить, що з року в рік наші музичні групи стають більш сильними саме на міжнародному просторі. Тобто їх відзначають, їх бачать, і та якість музики, яка є в Україні, ну, вона достатньо висока для міжнародного рівня. Yes, Ed?
And that's all. I just wanted to share that.
That's
So
great.
has anyone heard of this band or like this band or are familiar with this band, this group, this music group?
Друзі, хто з
I
вас
don't
знає?
know this music group, but in Europe, it's a festival Eurovision, and Ukraine is I don't
Скажи
know.
українською.
I read that they participated in the Eurovision contest last year.
So it was last year that they were in the Eurovision.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think they're touring the U.S. I think they're still touring the U.S.
And it's mainly Ukrainian folk music.
Yeah, it wasn't just Ukrainian. It was also they folk music from various parts of Eastern Europe, Poland, Georgia, where else? But it was it's sort of updated folk music. It was great.
Very cool. Very interesting. Fits in perfectly with our team of using music to tell stories. I'll have to listen to these guys more. So thank you, Ed. Was there anything else that you wanted to add to that?
No, that's good.
So let's go to the next slide, please. And now Robin's going to speak to a couple different American music genres. Robin, it's all yours.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about rap and country, which is two of the most popular genres in America. They collect, as you see, exceeding revenue of $15 billion. That's more money than I can ever imagine. But that just shows the impact of both genres within the country and globally. So, next slide.
Robin, 1 second, I will translate. Маріна, камбек. Друзі, ми сьогодні будемо говорити про американську музику, і ми обрали саме такі два жанри, які максимально є типовими для американської музики. Це реп і кантрі. Це дійсно, насправді, унікальна американська музична традиція, і щоб ви зрозуміли, той прибуток, який отримують ці дві сфери музичні, тобто ці дві категорії реп і кантрі, це близько 15 мільярдів доларів щороку заробляють ці співаки. Excuse me, Robin, here, please, next slide.
No worries. So this is when we're thinking about country, think about the roots of American music. So we talk about the native, the African, European folk, and blues and jazz. All of these combined have had an impact on the shape of how the sounds are within country music as it is today. So think of when the beginnings of our country, with the native, with their traditions, they dated back many centuries. The African influence, the European folk because of the early settlers, and blues and jazz. That's something that really started to take root during the Roaring 20s and really started to be a foundation of popular music that has shaped country music as it is today.
Друзі, тут на цьому слайді ви можете побачити корені американської музики, тобто звідки вона така сформувалася. Дійсно, є так би мовити, стара музична традиція, яка відходить ще до 7 століття. Тобто це ця національна американська музика, яка ще була від індіанців. Є ще африканський вплив, тому що це такі специфічні ритми, які привнесли в культуру Америки колишні раби. Є внесок європейського такого музичного наслідування, це певні мелодії, інструменти, які з собою привезли ранні поселенці в Америку. А ще є блюз і джаз. Це такі напрями, які були сформовані в 1920-30-х роках і були досить популярні в Америці в той час. Yes, Robin?
Next slide. So when we think about country, we really do think about the rural parts of America. And when we say rural, we're talking about the smaller pockets of areas where the population is usually below 2,500 or 5,000. We are a country with 350 million, so we're pretty big. So we're thinking about the origins and the beginnings of country music, where I think the first commercial recording was back in 1922. Like I said, the roaring 20s, where things were nice and fun in America. And then you started to find the signature sound. So the guitar, the fiddle, steel guitar. And then when all of that combined, Nashville became kind of the unofficial capital of country music. And that was how the rural areas of America really impacts. So think those little small villages had such a loud voice when it comes to country music.
Зараз ми говоримо саме про кантрі-музику. Насправді кантрі-музика – це такий ніби голос американських сіл і селищ невеличких. І якщо з'ясовувати, звідки вона взагалі з'явилася, то це така суміш фольклорної музики, яка була ще з часів Апалачій, і потім туди додалося таке комерційне звучання, тому що перший запис кантрі-музики, це, здається, 1922 рік, насправді ніхто точно не може сказати, але це приблизно датується таким часом, і потім до кантрі-музики, з часом, як вона розвивалася, ще додалися такі фірмові звуки. Це гітара, банджо, певні такі, знаєте, саме ті музичні інструменти, які були притаманні для американських сіл. Ви бачите на малюнку навіть дівчина зі скрипкою. І з часом Нешвіль став столицею кантрі-музики в Америці. Так просто сталося, тому що там найбільше саме співаків сильних, які співають в стилі кантрі. Yes, Robin?
Next slide. So now we're going to go into rap music, which I'm pretty sure everyone probably heard of Eminem, which I know, Sasha, you know. Rap was born in New York City, one of the most popular cities in the globe, in the world. So it started back in 1970s. And the reason rap was really created was to help those in certain areas of New York to tell their stories, especially the urban areas. And they really wanted to showcase how different parts of the city can communicate. So how people rap in Queens, New York was different than how people rap in Brooklyn. So they had the rap battles, the underground rap battles, which was very popular during the 1970s to the early 1990s. And that was just how African Americans started the tradition of storytelling, and also with a little bit of Caribbean and also different Bayesian communities started to influence and tell the stories.
Насправді, тепер ми переходимо з вами до репу. Звідки з'явився реп? Реп з'явився в 1970-х роках в Нью-Йорку. І саме тоді, чому він виник? Тому що різні райони Нью-Йорку, вони змагалися поміж собою, вони саме в репі, тобто вони намагалися довести один одному і таким чином комунікували через реп що хто кращий, у кого які є традиції, у кого є які звичаї. І за рахунок цього почався такий музичний батл, який потім став дійсно музичним напрямом повноцінним. І всі ви знаєте, наприклад, того ж Емінема, але він не типовий представник репу, тому що реп сформувався саме як музичний
Тому що
напрям
він білий.
американців. Так, правильно. Тому що зазвичай це були афроамериканці, і вони найсильніші в репі. Але Нью-Йорк вважається такою неофіційною столицею репу, і у будь-якому разі на реп суттєво вплинули афроамериканці, і вони і нині являються основними представниками цього музичного напряму. Yes, Robin?
Next slide. So, how do they shape America? We see it every day on social media, fashion, different trends with the country impact. They definitely have different cultural icons, and then they are really good at storytelling. Think Dolly Parton. She has been doing this for decades, and all of her music has a lot of different stories, especially about her life and experience. I think we all know one of her most famous songs is um, one of her famous songs. So, and then you think about rap. Rap is think about Eminem. He talked about his struggles with growing up in different areas of Detroit. And that was a voice that he used, that talent to communicate to others that don't really know anything about the area or his struggles. So, how they shape is storytelling. Storytelling is so imperative and it's part of our history here in America. And there's been so many cultural icons that has come out of both country and rap. Think Dr. Dre, Eminem, Taylor Swift, because she started in country before she became a pop icon. Even Beyonce has started going into country music. So these are the artists that really shaped how America is, especially with fashion and all the social media trends out there now.
Як ви зрозуміли, ці два музичних напрями, і кантрі, і реп, вони відіграють надважливу роль саме в формуванні культури Америки. Тому що, наприклад, кантрі напрям музичний, він все ж таки несе традиції і цінності Америки. Тобто ті традиції і цінності, які формувалися багато століть в Сполучених Штатах. І це вони створюють ці співаки кантрі-музики, вони стають іконами для жителів маленьких міст. Наприклад, найвідоміша кантрі-співачка – це Долі Партон. Вона вже така стара, якщо чесно. Я навіть не пам'ятаю, скільки їй років. Але вона дійсно найвідоміша просто. Тейлор Свіфт починала з кантрі-музики. Бійонсе досить часто співає кантрі-пісні серед інших своїх пісень.
А джаз важливий?
Що?
А джаз важливий напрям музики? Він теж
Можемо Можемо запитати. Robin, there is a question, but we understood that it's very important for the USA, both country and rap influence, but jazz as let's say, as music, as a kind of music, is it important in the USA? I mean, do people listen to jazz, or it's not so popular as country and rap?
Oh, it was very popular. I just went to a jazz club 2 weeks ago. Still very popular, still has lots of impact. And it was a theme when I went to where we all had to dress up in certain more jazz inspired outfits. So very popular, but we only had so much time to pick genres to go into, but jazz, blues is actually very still popular. R&B is very still popular. But I think some of the most global recognized artists are more into the pop and rap and country. So, but there are so many different genres, especially when you go to different parts of America. We have so many different genres that's more popular, like maybe towards the southern part than the northern. Rap is different on East Coast versus West Coast. We had those emphasis battles between East and West back in the early 1990s. So definitely still popular jazz.
Я трошки перекладу, я сподіваюся, ви зрозуміли. Якщо є запитання, ставте. Ставте мені, якщо щось не зрозуміло, ставте нашим друзям, якщо у вас щось цікавить. Як ви зрозуміли, і джаз, і блюз супер популярні в Америці, і насправді всі жанри популярні. Це досить залежить від регіону, тому що в деяких регіонах більш популярні кантрі-музика і реп, в інших джаз і блюз. Наприклад, Робін сказала, що вона буквально там кілька тижнів тому ходила на джазовий концерт, і вони не просто туди ходять, вони ще одягаються в стилістику джазу. Тобто, я так розумію, це, мабуть, 60-70-ті роки. І
Костюми.
що?
Це в костюми?
Типу того. Давай, а ти можеш запитати сам Робін англійською мовою, чи мені запитати?
А, це краще ви.
Окей.
Повчуся.
Robin, there is one more question, but when you are dressing for the jazz concert, is this kind of clothes, let's say like suits, which were usual dresses for 60s, 70s, or which kind of clothes is that?
I would say more 1980s to like early 2000s, very loud, sparkly, at least for me, because I wore a dress and it was the ones with the like little beads on it. Nice heels, big hair. As you can see, I have very big hair. And think of Tina Turner in a way type of
Like
outfit.
Gatsby style, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Men usually wear like a nice dress pants. Some wear full-on suits. But yeah, those are kind of I think of Roaring Twenties when I think of jazz. And that's almost like the theme of type of clothes that we still use today as an inspired for our outfits.
Друзі, на ці джазові вечірки вдягаються в стилі 1920-х років. Якщо ви бачили фільм за книгою Фіцджеральда «Великий Гетсбі», то саме в цьому фільмі оця стилістика одягу – це так, як вдягаються на джазові вечірки в Сполучених Штатах. Вони притримуються
Ну,
цього
я
стилю.
приблизно знаю, як одягається. Приблизно.
That's great.
Because I like jazz.
Really?
Yeah.
Jazz is cool.
And jazz is, I've found from my experience,
And I like jazz. Jazz, that's really cool songs style.
yeah, yeah. And people who are musicians really like jazz because of the
They're wearing
complexity.
like Charlie Chaplin, yeah?
Yeah. Interesting. Well, maybe we'll have to do a little more on jazz for you guys. So, Sasha, would you say that jazz is popular in Ukraine?
To tell the truth, I cannot...
Uh,
Yes, guys, друзі,
yeah.
You think it's popular?
You do think it's popular?
Yeah, it's popular. No.
Miron, is there a lot of your friends which like jazz, or it's maybe just you are the one who likes?
I don't know who like who like my friends jazz, but I like jazz.
That's great. And your parents, do they like?
Yes, of course.
Cool.
Very cool. Дуже классно. So on the dress, I was thinking about this too. If you're interested too in seeing how a lot of the jazz musicians used to dress in America. I don't know if they do it so much now, but look for like a Miles Davis or Charlie Parker or somebody like that YouTube video, and you'll get an idea. That's more of the 1950s and 60s. So you can see how they were always very well dressed in suits with ties and very stylish for that era. Not the type of suits dress clothes that you see now, but very unique to 50s and 60s America. I'd recommend looking at a YouTube video for that. Plus, the music's really cool.
That's true.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Друзі, ще якісь запитання про музику?
Okay, next slide. Now, I would love to know what rap or country artists that you guys know and what songs do you know from them?
Друзі, яких реперів ви знаєте? Які пісні, можливо, ви слухаєте? Може, не реперів, може, якийсь інший стиль музики.
50 Cent.
You know the Carlos Orchestra?
I heard 50 Cent.
I
What was
heard
the
50 Cent first. Which one was the?
what was the second one that came up?
It's the winners in Ukraine in Eurovision.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Это разве рэп?
Я,
Ну, там
якщо чесно,
більш-менш є. Ну, більш-менш там є репу, якщо я не помиляюсь.
now we're trying to figure out if this group is rap, but we're not sure.
We'll have to
I'm
figure that
confused.
out. You'll have to write us the name of email Sasha the name of the group and we'll figure that out.
Hmm.
So who likes Johnny Cash? Speaking of country. Anybody? Anybody familiar with Johnny Cash? Ed, I know you like Johnny Cash.
I only know Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage. Who's
Cage?
Johnny Cage?
You
I
know
know.
who is?
Who's Johnny Cage?
It's the guy from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got you. I know Luke Cage. Luke Cage is a Marvel superhero. That's the Cage I know.
Cool.
So tell us who else you like in music.
I have no idea about country music. I
Mm.
just know that one of my favorite musicians, his name's Peter Steele. Yeah, I think you know him. He's from Brooklyn and he makes metal music, but he's very popular for Typo Negative and Carnivore. But he said a few times that he likes jazz, and I think he brought up blues a few times.
It's interesting to know what music genres influence these great artists, whether it's like you said, Peter Steele, who is a goth metal. Isn't that right, Maria? He's goth.
Yeah, it is. It is. He isn't a goth himself, but I think he say once that he they kind of based a group to for chicks to like him. So
Of course. Of course.
he's not a goth at all. He's not this type of guy like Ville Valo.
Mhm.
Kanye West.
What was
I
that?
know it's a bad. It's bad. Kanye.
West?
Who
Kanye
is it?
West.
Oh, Kanye West?
Kanye?
Yeah.
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 Bro,
Yeah.
not a really nice person to talk of.
I know.
But his
He's
music is
bad.
good.
He's supporting AF. Yeah.
So who else do we like?
Does anyone know Sleep Token?
Yeah, I think, isn't it metalcore? No.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
fine.
They've gotten very popular in the last couple of months. They're rock, metal.
Well, they're not exactly metal, but I would say it's too clean to be metal, or I don't know what genre there are, but
Yeah. I think they're too clean now. I think early on they were a little bit more, but as they got popular, they changed their music a little bit.
yeah, I think it's like with Slipknot, because comparing their first album to their last albums, they got so like pop.
Yes.
I think actually Sleep Token is popular by their masks, because a lot of people like masks, and sometimes the masks are the atmosphere, their vibe, but in this case, they're like an instrument. So a very, very washed band.
Yeah, they do have really cool masks, don't they? I'm just looking at the images now. Interesting. So they're a British band. Who else? Who else? Who likes Taylor Swift? Dead silence.
I'm a hater because I'm a hater. This is my worst enemy.
Poor Taylor. She gets no respect. So,
Друзі, може ще є якісь співаки чи групи, які вам подобаються?
I don't know.
how about Bruce Springsteen?
They're counting the soundtrack.
Say that again, please.
Which one?
Тут можна говорити про саундтреки?
Of course. We're talking about the soundtracks. You mean to the movies?
To the movies, to the games, wherever.
Of course.
I like music soundtrack from Mick Gordon.
Which
No
one
one
is
heard
it?
about them.
Which
Mick Gordon. That's just a cool guy.
And in which movie is this soundtrack or game?
It's not a movie, it's a game.
It's a
It's game.
game soundtrack. Okay, so what's the name of the game?
Doom.
Doom. I got you.
Вот это Rip and Tear.
Oh, I know this game.
Everyone knows.
Guys, I think we have the next topic. Games.
Yeah, it could be game, jazz music and games. So I'm not a gamer, so somebody else will have to speak to that. So well, maybe I'll have to get my nephew to do it. He's a big time gamer. But you're right. The soundtracks to games, movies are very popular. The also very popular here are the soundtracks to TV shows too.
hmm
So
Especially the ones on Netflix.
yeah, very good music there. Who else do you like in Ukraine in the way of a music star? Who is the most popular Ukrainian music star?
It's a difficult question because there's niches, like if we're talking about more old musicians, like everyone knows them, but you can say who's popular right now. And right now, guys that went to Eurovision are popular, but I don't really get this vibe.
Roma Fact.
Yeah. He's talking about a guy that is virus on TikTok, but he's like, it's a very big joke.
A meme.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a me.
No.
Now, the one I think I've heard of is there's one Ukrainian singer, she's a woman, Loboda. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Right, but she's not a very smart person.
No,
She was popular a while ago, like
not so
10
much
years
now.
ago, maybe.
Mm.
I am kind of behind the times, so I think I saw her on Instagram. So, any other musical heroes that you have? Or music questions?
Друзі, якісь запитання, можливо, про музику? Вам щось цікаво? Ставте.
Music is also very political here,
Mhm.
especially
Music
now in
is
the United
political everywhere. There can be a music without politics.
Yeah, I think you're right in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. Yeah, especially right now here in America.
Yeah.
A lot of musicians and singers are speaking out.
I get mad when people say like you should separate the artist from their art, and this is like the most stupid thing you could ever say. How could you separate the creator from its creation? It's like separating an Van Gogh picture from him, and it's meaningless. Like every time you see person tries to justify themselves when they listen to problematic artists. Like let me give an example. Mindless Self-Indulgence. I think this band is called, it's an American punk, electro-punk band. And the thing is, their vocalist is known for having a close contact with a teen when he was an adult already. And I hear a lot of people saying like you should separate his moves from his art, and it's just stupid considering that his art is all about it. So politics is always in music. There's no such thing as music without politics, without some views of the artist. It's always about the views. It's just.
I agree. I agree with that completely.
By the way, about blues, have someone of you watched Metalocalypse? This
I've heard of it, but I
Metalocalypse.
don't think I've watched it.
I don't think I have either.
Well, it's animation on Adult Swim about some metal group, and the bandmates are, well, they're stupid if we're saying it straight. And there was this one episode about depression and about blues. So I know about blues from this exact episode. It was funny, and for some reason there was like a big joke that a lot of blues is contains a train team, just train. It's like named, all the names are about trains. Is this joke real? Like,
No, there are a lot of when blues, kind of started off, trains were the main mode of transportation.
Yeah.
So those are how you got anywhere. So that's understandable.
no, well, that was funny. I
Yeah.
like this movie actually, this animation. You should watch it because I
I'll
like
have
it.
to watch it. Yeah, I like Adult Swim.
Right. I'm
Robin,
done.
is anything else you want to add to the music?
I think that's it. We really went into deep topics. I think we can talk about more about jazz and blues
In the
coming up.
future, I think that would be a
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah, yeah. Jazz particularly is wouldn't you say, Robin, it's uniquely American?
Yeah. Definitely uniquely American, born in America, and has a lot of impact because, as we have discussed, so many artists are inspired by jazz, even if that's not the genre they sing or they craft their songs in, it's still an inspiration for them. So they do like a little session on jazz.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that'd be interesting. So, okay.
And
Any
then
other
video
questions
games.
on music? Oh, I'm sorry, Sasha. Did I interrupt? Go
And
ahead.
I think also it should be a session on video games.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Gonna have to find a video game expert for that one. So, okay. So I think we're ready for the for our next topic.
Yeah, of
Next
course.
slide. American slasher movies. Speaking of music,
A classic.
This is my favorite theme, finally. I waited for it like from the autumn, and I got to this moment.
I love that. Speaking of music, telling a story, that tells the story is don't go out on Halloween. So that was the theme music from the 1970s Halloween movie and all its subsequent sequels to that one music. So slasher movies, it's a subgenre of American horror movies. So who likes horror movies?
I
Sweet,
My
sweet.
camera isn't working, so I can't turn it
That's
on.
okay, but
Like,
but I know you're holding your hand up. I know you are.
look, I turn on my camera and it's just black. Well,
It's black. Okay.
like this, not important from hatred is on my avatar, but it disappears, but nothing replaces it. It's just
Yeah.
black.
Something is up with you.
Hatred.
Yeah, hatred.
So does anybody else like horror movies?
Хтось любить фільми жахів?
I like horror movies.
You do? Cool. Very cool. So
My
slashers
favorite
are,
the horror film is Five Nights at Freddy's.
which one was it?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Isn't that a
Uno
game?
momento.
It's
And
Это ж игра.
that movie and game.
Movie and a game. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Ну, в игре
interesting
пострашнее.
how they cross over. What's another one that does that? Silent Hill. But we won't get into Silent Hill. So slasher movies, subgenre American horror movies, very, very popular in the late 1970s and early 1980s here. Kind of called the golden age of American slasher movies, but they did start before the 70s. So let's go to the next slide.
Chris, I will not translate only
Oh,
if
I'm sorry,
guys
Sasha.
some no, only if guys some kind of question, if they have some kind of question, I will translate. Друзі, я не буду перекладати зараз, просто щоб не витрачати час. Якщо у вас будуть запитання або щось незрозуміло, просто перебивайте українською, ставте запитання. Yes, Chris, please.
So if you're starting off trying to understand slasher movies and you want to kind of follow along the timeline of how they started, you really have to go back to the 1960s here. There's a movie called Psycho done by the famous director Alfred Hitchcock that is probably the grandfather or grandmother of slasher movies. And it stands out because it was very well done, great actors, a great director, great music that set the theme, and then so it stands out as being better than everything that followed it. So then the next thing, we move into the 1970s in the timeline, and we find something that's called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that brings the idea of a family of villains, of bad people in a rural country setting, which is a theme that we often see in these types of movies. Then again in 1974, there's a movie called Black Christmas.
Black Christmas was really freaky, like it was
Yeah.
freaky, just
Yeah. Black Christmas is,
perverted. It was perverted but I like it. It's weird.
yeah, and especially, it takes, Christmas is supposed to be this happy, fun time, but not always. So it also brought into to this genre the idea of a group of college kids. And you see that again and again in these slasher type movies. So then the one that really kind of kicked it off here was Halloween in 1978. And of course, it's all about Halloween. And that started a whole franchise of movie, multiple sequels to that, and they're still making those.
Mm.
So then we go into the next one in 1980 is Friday the 13th, and this brings it into what we call a summer camp here. It's very popular in America for children, kids, young adults to spend their summer in a summer camp somewhere up in the mountains. So Friday the 13th was all about Camp Crystal Lake and the various things that happen to these kids at the summer camp that they go to. So the next one that was really popular in 1984 was something called Nightmare on Elm Street. And you're probably familiar with Freddy Krueger. Does everybody know Freddy?
I have a t-shirt with him.
Yeah, cool, cool, very cool.
And
So
he's also freaky, kind of.
very freaky. And the original Nightmare on Elm Street is the one that I find probably to be the scariest because the whole idea of going to sleep and meeting Freddy is a pretty scary thing, at least for me. So in that there were more Freddy, and then it's been remade, and there were multiple sequels to Nightmare on Elm Street, and then in the 90s we kind of move into a series of movies called Scream, which again is young adults. And that too spawned several other movies following that. And they're still making those. I think they've come out with a couple new ones in the past couple of years. And again, young adults and somebody that is after them. And so that's basically the theme of that. So, but Halloween was really the one to look at. And if somebody were to start watching these, I would say start with Halloween.
Halloween was kind of boring to me, like the very first film. I think maybe I got no taste, but it was kind of boring to see that this guy just standing near a tree. I like though Rob Zombie Halloween. It
Yeah,
was
the Rob
okay.
Zombie one's good. And
Yeah, it was not bad.
Yeah, the Halloween movies got better in the sequels, I think. I like some of the sequels better than I like the original one.
I like that he gave long hair to Michael. Long hair is really a good thing for a maniac.
Oh, that's right. I remember that in the Rob Zombie movie. Yeah, he did have long hair in that. So yeah, that movie was that was interesting. Rob
I
Zombie.
just like men with long hair anyway. Just
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you know the Jamie Lee Curtis, who played in the original Halloween, she's still starring in all the Halloween movies as of today.
Yeah.
she's cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she's great. She's a great heroine. She plays a great heroine in those movies.
Hmm.
Talk about the tough, resilient female that we'll talk about here in a couple minutes. So I'm assuming most people have, except for Sasha, of course, have seen the Halloween movies.
That's true.
So let's go to the next slide. So, of course, there's always an antagonist. You have your villain, and then you have your protagonists, the heroes of the story. And there's a reoccurring theme in these movies. The antagonist is usually male. There can be a female slasher. It's possible. There's been some recent movies with female slashers.
Well, actually, first Friday the 13th was Mother of Jason, so
That's
it
right.
was
That was the
like a
mother.
classic. So
Yeah, you're right about that. I forgot about that one. And it wasn't until the sequels that you actually saw the male Jason. Um, and usually, and again, with that first Friday the 13th movie, it's usually they're seeking revenge for some type of past transgression. And I Know What You Did Last Summer is a perfect example of that. So these kids did something terrible at one time, and now our antagonist, our villain, is seeking revenge. Usually they're human, though they can be supernatural. We see that with Michael Myers, and we see that with Jason Voorhees. They have supernatural powers. Um, they're extremely hard to defeat. I mean, they just keep on coming no matter what you do. Now, the protagonist, the hero of our stories, um, it can be more than one person, but usually there's a central character, and it's often a female. Most of the time, I would say a female teenager. Jennifer Love Hewitt and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. Very intelligent, very resourceful, and usually she figures out a way to defeat the bad guy.
and Sally Hardesty in Chainsaw Massacre because
That's
she's the only one who survived.
that's right. That's right. So,
Chris, I'm sorry, we have some kind of technical
I
issues
think we have
because
technical
on the
difficulties.
side of Marina, yes. And right now I will try to turn on the presentation.
You know, that's
Well,
all right, 'cause if she can't do it, I pretty much have it memorized.
But right now, please keep going without presentation. Meanwhile, I will try to find it, okay?
Let me bring it up here on my other laptop. So as we watch these slasher movies, there's lessons that we can learn from them. So the first lesson that I thought of is never going down in a dark basement by yourself. That always is not a good thing to do. You'll see that happen a lot in slasher movies. Then if you're with a group of friends, don't split up. Don't go in different directions. Try to stay together. Ah, here we are. Perfect. So if you're with a group of friends, don't go off in different directions. Don't split up to cover more ground or anything silly like that. Stay together. Um, the other lesson in the movies is if you're having to use a flashlight, it will always break. So when you're down in that dark basement, your flashlight is guaranteed to go out. So I would always suggest to carry an extra flashlight. So, in Texas Chainsaw Massacre teaches us if you're traveling through a rural area, don't make fun of any of the weird country people that you see there because they don't like that, and you might end up in somebody's basement there too. Um, Stay out of abandoned mental institutions. So any kind of abandoned building, just stay out of it. Abandoned hospitals, abandoned prisons, abandoned factories, abandoned mine shafts. Just stay out of them. You'll be safer. And then probably the most important one to remember is um, train and exercise so you can run faster than all your friends in case you have to get away. Then you'll be the one that survives. So those are the lessons I've learned from slasher movies. So
A few more rules. Virgins always survive, and you don't have to drink alcohol, you don't have to smoke weed. Because when this happens, it's a start of any movie. Any movie starts with it. Like you drink alcohol, he's coming for you. You're not a virgin anymore, he's coming for you. It's horror movies, slasher movies are like some kind of teacher movies. Like you do bad stuff, you deserve it.
so it's the good kids that always survive.
I
Not
think
always, not always, I think, because there was like in Chainsaw Massacre, again, my favorite movie, there was one guy on a wheelchair and he was kind of annoying, but he didn't really do anything bad. It wasn't his fault. Family was just hungry and he was meaty.
That's a good point because a lot of times it's the most annoying person, the person who won't shut up, who talks
yeah.
all the time, that gets it in those movies. You're right about that. So,
I
yeah.
think I think the biggest lesson is just don't be curious.
Stay home. Stay
If you
home where
don't
it's
go
safe.
look and just go be nosy, I think you will survive. Because if you
Yeah,
think about
yeah.
it, you go down to the basement because you're curious, you're trying to look for things. Just don't be curious
Oh,
about anything.
serious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And don't take that wrong
Usually,
turn.
usually these character who won't shut up, um, they always if. Как же так это конструировать мысль, а? Я хочу сказать то, что в таком случае большинство из спинов, одни из них сразу же умирают, а другой тип этих людей остаются в живых.
there are type of peoples who are in this kind of movies, they're dying immediately, and another type of people which in this kind of movies which are dying, which are not dying, they survive, they
They
stay alive.
survive. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of times it's that smart, intelligent young woman who figures out how to get away. So yeah, you're right. You see that in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You see that in the Halloween movies. You see it in some of the Jason movies, the Friday the 13th genres. Um, and it's very interesting. So but you're right. Yeah, those are lessons. Any other lessons learned from watching these movies other than don't be
You
curious?
need to take with you a camera with с ночным зрением.
With the night vision.
With the night vision. Yeah,
Night
that's a
vision
good
camera.
idea too.
There are plenty of movies where the camera was used, but I don't think it helped much to the guys who were splattered. Like, the camera isn't necessary when you're dying.
There is a Halloween movie where they have a camera, where it's a film crew. And of course, the famous camera movie is the Blair Witch Project, the found footage type of movie.
Boring, overrated.
Yeah, I didn't think Blair Witch was scary at all. I thought it
Yeah.
was silly. Um, yeah, but if you have that camera with night vision, then you can see what's going on. So that might give you an advantage in the dark.
And you can see what's going on, and it's not going to help you with a guy who wears a knife or a chainsaw.
But you can run into the dark place and hide.
Yeah, hi,
And you
from a
need to
chainsaw.
see with your batteries because batteries run out and you need to see for them.
So I think you need to carry extra batteries for
A
the
charger.
camera and the flashlight.
No. I'm saying about this batteries. A little one.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
It was just Easter egg to. I was hoping you will understand because it was about camera. It was Easter egg about Outlast. It's a video game, horror, scary.
Yeah,
book.
this
Which
how
game was
was
that?
it?
Outlast.
Oh, okay.
Plus, yeah. I have bought it, but I never played it because I can't.
I played both parts.
Is it fun?
It's scary
Scary? Oh, interesting. I might have to try that. Maybe I will try a video game one of these days.
because first part was about the hospital, about a crazy man who. Короче, игра о том, что там психологическая
A man
больницу
was
приезжает
tormenting his
репортер.
patients. He was,
What?
I think it was about a man tormenting his patients and torturing them to the point they got like extremely crazy. I think that was the point. And yeah, by the videos I saw, it was scary enough. Also,
think
the games
after
are
this meeting,
always, yeah. Wait, excuse me.
excuse me, please. I'm telling that after this meeting, we're going with all our team. I mean, Ed, Chris, Robin. We will go and play some kind of scary video games because we've never did it. But
Personally,
Yeah.
I like books. Personally, I like books.
Oh, you like books?
You like books? You like scary books? You like
These books, my collection.
Oh, what's the author?
Five Nights at Freddy's books.
Oh yeah.
These books, for me,
And
like child.
book. 1 minute.
I love books.
For me, these books like my child.
Yeah, you like them so much? That's
Yeah.
good. Books are great.
Yeah, I'm a big
Wow.
reader. As you can see, I have a library behind me.
But this for me very important
Yeah, good.
for
Good.
me.
Awesome.
So who's your favorite author? Who's your favorite writer of books?
And this is book Five Nights at Freddy's. In Ukrainian, her name is Srivni Ochi, and in the English, Sliver Eyes.
Yeah, Silver Eyes.
Silver Eye. I'm going to make a note of that.
Даже таке не люблю.
Ooh, maybe we need to do a session with books.
Yeah.
I
Друзі, наступного разу будемо говорити про книжки і про відеоігри. Готуйтесь.
Я
I
чекаю,
have a
поки за рік
huge
збираю.
craft book. It's
Well, we covered a lot of topics. We covered music, movies, video games, and books now. Is there anything else before we go that you'd like to ask us?
Chris, have you watched The Collector and The Collection? I think it's underrated.
The
love it.
Collector. I have not
That's
watched.
a movie.
What?
The Collector, the movie.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, this
Did you like it, Robin?
like
Yeah.
half. It's a half slasher, half splatter, I think, because the authors also were working on some part of the jigsaw. No, I can tell exactly what part of it.
Yeah.
But this is one of my favorite movies, and it's a pity it's not so popular. But in some kinds, it's advantage to know the movie. Like,
Yeah, that's I think it was on Netflix at one point because I watched it, I think maybe 2022.
on Netflix.
Yeah, it was on Netflix. Because I don't know if you remember during the pandemic, that's when all the streaming services had everything online, whether it was old or new, because they wanted everyone to see it. So I went through a very slasher, horror, thriller phase where I was watching nothing but that.
That's cool.
This sounds really interesting, to be honest. I would like this. But anyway, I don't really watch anything except horrors.
I'll look for that one I'll have to watch that one this
Have
week.
you, that's when I watched Seven. I don't know if you ever seen that one. That one's a more
No.
thriller
No,
horror.
Seven is good.
Yeah, that one's with I think Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're hunting down a serial unaliver, and he does really scary things.
One
can
second,
watch
I will interrupt you. Excuse me. I will just say to the children, if they have some kind of task to do or something like that, they are free to go. If they
You
don't
guys-
have. Друзі, ми вже трошки перетримали наш час, який у нас був відведений на урок. І якщо у вас немає запитань і вам потрібно кудись бігти, то ви можете попрощатися з нашими друзями і займатися вашими справами. І якщо вам цікаво залишитися і ще поговорити, будь ласка, залишайтеся з нами. Просто, щоб ви зрозуміли.
Дякую. Я був дуже. Nice to meet you.
Дуже приємно. We will see you next time, I hope. Please.
Yes.
Well, every month, please come. So, all of you, we want to see you again. I can stay on if anybody else has questions for a couple more minutes. But if not, we can go. But if you need to go, like Sasha said, we understand.
Thank you for the lesson. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay.
It feels bad when everyone has somewhere to go, and I never have to. It feels like I'm just desperate for talking to someone, and it's not really good.
Well, we're here when you
Real, man.
talk. We're here.
Real.
So. That's all right. Well, I sure like that you come to
Oh,
these.
God.
You know, I like this information that you share with us. I think you have very interesting questions. And I did watch Reanimator after you talked about it for the first time.
Yes, this is good.
Yeah, I did watch it. It's very guided. I enjoyed it a lot. So,
I'm making a note. Reanimator.
yeah, I think that's free on YouTube. I think that's where I
Yes,
watched it.
yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
it's definitely entertaining to say the least.
It's
So,
fun.
yeah.
I just found it. I'm going to watch it a little bit later.
Yeah.
I'm
All
feeling
right.
miserable like for a week now. And I just like to talk to someone, not
That's
from
good.
my country.
Yeah. Well, please keep coming. Please keep coming to our sessions.
Okay.
Okay. So, shall we say goodbye, Sasha, for now?
I think for now, first of all, thank you so much for your interaction, for all wonderful material that you prepared. It's always a pleasure for me, first of all, for our team, and Maria, I think for you too, because you are like our all the time with us. Thank you for this.
I love
And
it.
yeah, for the next time, I think we already have a lot of ideas. So thank you. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend, and then we'll keep in touch.
All right. Bye, guys. It was nice meeting.
Bye. Goodbye.
You take
Bye-bye.
care.
Have a
Bye-bye.
nice day.
You
Bye.
too.